What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 365 Fitness Radio Show. I'm your gracious host, Coach Chauncey, at your service, and I'm glad to have everybody tuning in. Have you ever wanted to become healthier and wiser, or just want to have more energy and time to appreciate your family and the joys of life? On this radio show, we're going to reveal tips and tricks to help you get in the best mental and physical shape in your life. Now let's get started with today's show. Surrender to the fact that life isn't fair. A friend of mine, in response to a conversation we were having about the injustices of life, asked me the question, who said life was going to be fair? Or that it was even meant to be fair? You know, her question was a good one. It reminded me of something I was taught as a youngster. Life isn't fair. It's a bummer, but it's absolutely true. Ironically, recognizing this somber fact can be a very liberating insight. All right. One of the mistakes many of us make is that we feel sorry for ourselves or for others, thinking that life should be fair, or that someday it will be. It's not, and it won't. When we make this mistake, we tend to spend a lot of time wallowing and or complaining about what's wrong with life. We commiserate with others, discussing the injustices of life. It's not fair. We complain, not realizing that perhaps it was never intended to be. One of the nice things about surrendering to the fact that life isn't fair is that it keeps us from feeling sorry for ourselves by encouraging us to do the very best we can do with what we have. We know it's not life's job to make everything perfect. It's our own challenge. All right. So surrendering to this fact also keeps us from feeling sorry for ourselves, because we are reminded that everyone is dealt a different hand, and everyone has a unique strength and challenges. All right. But this insight has helped me to deal with the problems of raising my kids, the difficult decisions I've had to make about what to help and who to help or who can I help, all right? As well as with my own personal struggles during those times that I have felt victimized or unfairly treated, all right? I mean, it almost always wakes me up to reality and put me back on track, all right? The fact that life isn't fair doesn't mean we shouldn't do everything in our power to improve our lives or the world as a whole. But to the contrary, it suggests that we should. When we don't recognize or admit that life isn't fair, we tend to feel pity for others and for ourselves. All right? Pity, of course, is a self-defeating emotion that does nothing for anyone except to make everyone feel worse than they already do. When we do recognize that life isn't fair, however, we feel compassion for others and for ourselves. And compassion is a heartfelt emotion that delivers loving kindness to everyone it touches. Alright? So the next time you find yourself thinking about the injustices of the world, try reminding yourself of this very basic fact. You may be surprised that it can nudge you out of self-pity and into helpful action. Alright? So in short, again, you got to surrender to the fact that life isn't fair. Alright? Surrender to the fact that life isn't fair. Stop getting caught up in it. Stop being in victim mode and playing the game to say that, hey, why? Oh, whoa, it's me. You know what I mean? And don't wallow in self-pity. A lot of times, you just got to stick to the course, whatever you're trying to achieve, and say, hey, why not you? Whatever happens, you still have to be man enough or woman enough to push forward and to come out on the other side of it. Like I say, if somebody shoots you with a problem or gives you a problem, try to come up with a positive solution. Win-win situation for everybody. All right? Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This radio show is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show. Do you eat these so-called healthy foods? Do you eat these so-called healthy foods? It's frustrating when the pounds won't drop, when those extra interests won't go away. If you're exercising regularly and still not seeing results, then it's time that you look closely at your diet. All right? One of the biggest obstacles that prevents you from losing fat and getting into awesome shape is, quite honestly, is all that processed food that you're still eating. And I can't blame you. I mean, with the way more and more processed foods are being marketed as healthy, even the health savvy folks are still being fooled. All right? So, why don't you take a walk through the local natural foods market and you'll see nearly every form of junk food that you'll find at the supermarket. Only with things like gluten-free, organic, and zero trans fat on the packages. Those are all great. Being gluten-free, organic, and trans fat-free, fresh organic vegetables or veggies, fruits and meats could all boast the same. But when those words are stamped on a package of cookies, chips, or the likes, and then eaten, then you eat them, it's going to seriously slow your fitness results. All right? Gluten-free or not, here are the top 5 healthy processed foods that you're eating that are killing your results and keeping you from attaining your goal weight. All right. Number one, here we go. Healthy cereal. Number one is healthy cereal. Have you seen the cereal aisles at the natural foods market? Its shelves are lined with dozens of cereal boxes, all with bold health claims. There are gluten-free cereals, cereals with no corn syrup, cereals with heart-healthy grains, cereals with whole grains, and even cereals with added vitamins. Those all sound healthy, right? Well, sure, those cereals are technically not as harmful as the brightly colored cereals from the supermarket. But as far as your fat loss results are concerned, the two are really about the same, to be honest with you. All right. Cereal is a dense source of calories, which basically means it's almost impossible not to overdo it when you're enjoying a bowl of cereal. If your goal is to lose fat, then cereal, even organic, gluten-free cereal, should stay off the daily menu. All right. Tip number 2, healthy packaged snacks. Tip number 2 is healthy packaged snacks. There is a brand of healthy popcorn that literally has fit in its name. All right. With branding like this, it's no wonder people are getting confused and eating food that destroys their fitness results. Popcorn and other crunchy packaged health food snacks are filled with carbohydrates and calories. Two things that you should be cutting back on when you're working towards a fitness goal. These snack items are habit forming. So you may tell yourself that it's just a once in a while treat, but soon it becomes a daily occurrence. All right. Here's the simple, unchanged fact about packaged snack foods. No matter what benefits are broadcasted on the package, it's always going to promote fat storage. All right. Yes. Even if it has fit right in its name. All right. Tip number 3 is healthy energy bars. Tip number 3 is healthy energy bars. The energy bar aisles at the health food store is colorful wonderland of beautifully packaged, seemingly healthful snacks. The bars contain nuts, fruits, protein, and even goji berries. What's not to love? All that sugar, for starters. Manufacturers are clever enough to call sugar evaporated cane juice, or natural cane sugar, or even rice syrup. But that sugar reacts in your body just the same as any other sugar. It encourages fat storage. All right. The next time that you reach for an energy bar, consider all of the calories and sugars. Look for the bars that are low in sugar and high in protein. All right. And if you're eating it in between meals, consider just eating half the bar. All right. All right. Moving on. Tip number 4. Tip number 4. Here we go. Healthy bread. Healthy bread is tip number 4. Have you ever spent time in the bread aisle? reading labels and trying to figure out which is the healthiest. It can be pretty confusing. There's wheat, whole wheat, gluten-free, and sprouted grain. How can you tell what's the healthiest? All right. The unfortunate news for all you bread lovers is that when it comes to losing inches, all bread is a problem, to be honest with you. You see, gluten-free bread is filled with just as many calories and carbohydrates as wheat bread or sprouted grain bread. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that you have a free pass to indulge in bread. When it's the healthy kind, your body will convert that healthy bread into fat quicker than you can say a burpee. All right, moving on, knocking it down. Moving on to tip number 5, healthy trail mix. Trail mix is a tricky one for healthy food shoppers. All right, it's made with nuts and seeds, which we know to be healthy. It's also often dotted with chocolate, sweet and dry fruit, or other treats. Nuts can belong in a fat loss diet within a certain parameter. For example, a small handful of raw almonds makes a wonderful in-between meal snack. It's filled with fiber, protein, good fat, vitamins, and minerals. A half cup of trail mix, on the other hand, is packed with 2 or 3 times the calories, in addition to having added sweetness and extra salt. Not to mention, trail mix is hard to stop eating once you've started. Let's face it. When working towards fat loss goal, it's best to stay away from even the healthiest of trail mixes. So never take packaged food items based on the claims and the benefits printed on the labels. When you're looking to transform your body, you must guard what goes into your mouth. Packaged foods, even those from the health store, are going to derail your results every single time. I've given you the strategies and tactics here to get you in the best mental and physical shape of your life. Now it's time for you to pull the trigger and implement. Let me know what you thought of today's show, where I'm showing you how to and what to do stuff. I can't wait to hear about your success. Talk to you soon, my friend. See you next week.